Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz. Today is Friday, April 23rd, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. A lot to discuss. Google has postponed their Google Page Experience update. It was supposed to launch in May, and now it's not going to even start until mid-June and then take a couple months to roll out from there. Google, with that, gave us a little bit of more details. They gave us some more new Google Search Console reports around that, so you'll like to hear about that. Google has confirmed as of yesterday, Thursday, the Google product reviews update has been fully rolled out. And there's a lot of little details I want to share with you about that as well. The Daily Mail, the owner of Daily Mail, sued Google for ranking issues, claiming that the reason they had ranking issues is because they didn't put enough Google ads on their website, and a lot more. So you want to stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it. Don't mind the mess, just my desk of boxes that I have to really organize. I get a new gadget, I put the box there. Some swag there, from really old swag up there actually, from Google, the old days, Ask Jeeves, MSN Search. I don't know if you see the MSN Search t-shirt up there. Anyway, let's get to the news. Sorry about that. All right, so the first up is that Google announced that the Google Page Experience update will not be launching in May 2021. So it will not be launching in the next couple weeks. It will be pushed off until mid-June. We don't have a specific date, but Google said it will start to roll out in mid-June. Now, a lot of things going on. Let me give you the timeline. One is we have a new Google Page Experience report in Search Console. I'll get to that a little bit later. That launched already. The Google's like, here, use this report. Another little tweaks to Search Console. I'll get to that soon. Signed exchanges for all web pages are now available. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. It's a technical thing. It's more around AMP. In mid-June, Google's going to start rolling out the Google Page Experience ranking change, and it will slowly roll out until the end of August. AMP will no longer be a requirement to show up in the top stories carousel. Again, that's going to happen starting mid-June and then roll out until the end of August, so it's going to be a slow rollout with that. The AMP icon and label should start going away around mid-June as well. And then Google will also continue to test their core Web Vitals / Page Experience icon or label in the search results. There's no decision made on that. Google may or may not launch a label there. At the end of August, the whole entire Google Page Experience update will be fully rolled out according to Google. AMP will no longer be a requirement fully for eligibility in top stories carousel, and that will be fully live. Google, there's conspiracies around why would Google push it off. It's just they missed deadlines, I think. I don't think there's any specific conspiracy here. So that's that. There's a lot of details that I went through in terms of the Page Experience update in general. But let's get into the Google Page Experience report, the new one. Now, if you go to Google Search Console, you log in, there's a new experience section. In there, there's the core Web Vitals, which you had before, but also a new Page Experience score, Page Experience report. And that Page Experience report, as you can see in this chart, gives you a score across all your sites, how good you're doing, the total, how much traffic it's generating for your website, how do you score against core Web Vitals, mobile usability, security issues, HTTPS, and ad experience, and so forth. It's a cool report. Also, a little tidbit, if you go into the performance report, your normal great performance report, if you filter by search appearance, there's a new tab or option to filter by good page experience pages to see how well your good page experiences pages are doing compared to, I guess, your non or the average. So it's pretty interesting to see that as well. And Google's going to keep giving us report. On the page experience stuff, just keep in mind, John Mueller clarified this week, and I'm not sure where it came from, but again, the core vital metrics are coming from Crux data, Chrome user experience, meaning real users on their phones using Chrome accessing your website. It's not coming from Googlebot. Googlebot is not scoring you on this. It is the users, people who are actually accessing your website that are doing this. In addition, just because it's named core doesn't mean that it's a core update. Core updates and core vitals are completely different things. If you get hit by a core update, that's going to be big. If you get hit by a page experience core web vitals type of thing, it's going to be tiny, I think. And also, John Mueller clarified, you don't need to be the fastest. You just need to be fast enough. Okay, so don't worry about it too much. You'll be fine. Now, let's move on to the Google product reviews update. It seemed to have taken a full 2 weeks to roll out. As of even yesterday morning, there were reports of fluctuations for product review sites. So Glenn Gabe Well, first of all, I did my story on. I told you a lot about it last week, so if you missed it, definitely want to. There's a lot of details you need to know about this. Then I did a big story this week on Search Engine Land. I think I posted on Tuesday with all the data providers and how big of an update it was. In short, it was a big update for if you were hit, if you were in the product reviews category. But if you were not in that category and you weren't hit, it wasn't a big update. It wasn't even close to in terms of a core update. Core updates go across all types of websites. This one was only specific to product review content, of course. Now, that being said, if you did track specific sites that in that category, you saw like the day after, April 8th it launched, so like April 9th, April 10th, you saw significant changes for those websites, positive, negative, whatever. Now, it kind of went quiet for a while, and then Glenn Gabe has been tracking it, and on April 15th, formerly tax day, April 17th, 16th, and so forth, there were fluctuations again. There were what we call tremors around this update. Maybe continue to roll it out. Maybe Google's tweaking it based on what they're seeing. And then even on the 19th, we saw some changes. And even yesterday, on the 22nd or so, 21st, we saw some changes there. And then Danny Sullivan confirmed for us later that afternoon, around 1 p.m. or so Eastern, on Thursday, April 22nd, that the update has finished rolling out. That would be exactly 2 weeks from Google launching it, which is interesting. So yeah, it's completely rolled out. Now on the news side, the Daily Mail, which I'm not in that region. I'm not in London. I'm not in Europe. But supposedly the Daily Mail is like a gossip type of magazine. People don't really trust it so much. It doesn't have the best reputation. And if you remember, a few years ago, I reported that the SEO at the Daily Mail posted in the public Google forums that they lost, I think, like 50% of their traffic. Was it 50%? Yeah, 50% of their daily traffic due to the June 2019 core update. That guy went AWOL. I guess he got fired or whatever. But they're actually referencing, so the Daily Mail's owner is suing Google allegedly over Google not ranking them and other publishers well enough if they don't put enough Google ads, like AdSense ads and so forth, on their website. So they're saying there's a direct correlation between ads being placed on a publisher's website, and it has to be Google ads, and rankings. They cite the June core update. They cite other things in their lawsuit. Google came back with a statement saying ads and organic ranking have nothing at all to do with each other. This is completely false. It's going to be interesting to see what comes from it. A bunch of SEOs were like laughing their heads off. They're saying the Daily Mail is junk. Their ads are insane. There's no wonder their traffic stinks. But the Daily Mail is not happy, obviously, and they want more traffic from Google, and they're suing Google and so forth. So if you missed that, it's pretty interesting. A lot of SEO chatter on that as well, and so forth. Last week, we covered that there was a soft 404 bug with Google. Google did not confirm it, although John Mueller kind of confirmed it. But I asked Google for an official statement. They would not give me any official statement on it. In short, for some sites, Google was labeling their pages as soft 404s, meaning it was a real page, perfectly fine, had great content, etc. But for some reason, Google thinks that should be a 404 page. When Google 404 is a page, even a soft 404, which is not a real 404, but Google's saying this is a 404, but it's not. In any event, Google labels the page as 404. It drops out of Google's index and it doesn't rank. It caused traffic issues and so forth. Supposedly, Google fixed the bug according to the SEOs that I'm tracking, and we're good. But Google again would not confirm it. And John Mueller said sometimes they just don't talk about things that affect a small number of publishers. John Mueller in a video last week was asked about, do you have to optimize your whole entire website, or can you just optimize the specific pages that you want to rank well for? So if you have a site of 100 pages and there's only 10 pages on that website that you care about, could you just focus on those 10 web pages and not care about any other web page on your site? And John Mueller said, maybe, technically, probably, but Google does look at the overall site architecture, how the site's laid out, not really trust the site, but there are site-wide types of signals. And you should definitely take a look at this. It kind of confirms like a lot of theories around, yes, there are site-wide levels of indicators that Google uses, not just for individual pages. Google ranks individual pages, but there are some site-level factors that could apply to a specific page. It's kind of hard concept. SEOs always choke and fight about this thing, but there are site-wide levels that get pushed to a specific page for ranking, I believe. It's a technical issue. I don't think we should fight about that. Hopefully not. All right, trust seals. So John Mueller, again, spoke about something, and somebody was like, well, if I put trust seals on my website, like Better Business Bureau or Trustpilot, or these trust seals, I say, I'm a real good company, I offer a great website, et cetera, does that help my EAT stuff? And John Mueller said, no. You can't just slap on trust seals on your website and we'll just think you're a great website. It doesn't work that way. And of course, if it helps your users trust you, that's great. But Google's not saying, oh, there's a trust seal from Better Business Bureau, and then this site gets a better EAT score. There are no EAT scores. Google's not looking specifically for trust seals. So don't go ahead and try to hack that together. On the Google Ads side, Google Ads announced a few things this week. The first thing is a new way where they're going to go ahead and take target CPA and target ROAS, and they'll bundle that with maximize conversion and maximize conversion value bid strategies. So in this case, the maximize conversion will have an optional target CPA, and the maximum conversion value will have an optional target ROAS. Google said this is going to make it easier for people, yada, yada. I think most paid search experts are okay with it, although there are some reporting things that make it a little bit harder, and Greg Finn got into that. If you want more details about how it works and so forth, take a look at it. It's not launching right this second. It will be rolling out soon, so keep an eye on that if you are using those strategies. Google Ads in the healthcare insurance space is now going to start requiring the people who want to advertise in the US for healthcare insurance to get certified by a third-party company named G2. There is a fee for that, but Google's trying to crack down and make the ads in that space a little bit safer. So keep that in mind if you are doing any ads with US health insurance. WordPress has a proposal on the table. It wasn't submitted by the WordPress company. It was submitted by a contributor or something, where they want WordPress, which operates about 40-something% of all websites on the internet, to block Google Ads' new proposed FLoC. It should be interesting what happens. The founder of WordPress said this is not a decision that has been made yet. They're looking into it. It was submitted by a contributor. It wasn't submitted directly by WordPress, but they will look into it. A lot of people are not happy with FLoC, and they are blocking that. A lot of browsers, a lot of third-party companies, and so forth. Now, Google is testing in the local side, showing local car dealership inventory. If you go to google.com/local/cars, you will be able to see this yourself. It will show you, I guess in the US, local inventory from car dealerships. Google did send us a statement saying this is part of an effort from last year where they're trying to connect potential customers to dealerships, et cetera, et cetera. There's a pilot for this, and you could actually submit, if you have a dealership and you want to be part of this, you could actually go ahead and submit it. There's more details on my blog, which I posted about this morning at the Search Engine, actually yesterday at the Search Engine Roundtable. Google is also now launching a new tab in Google My Business for food ordering. They had food ordering integration with Google My Business before. Google would automatically handle some of that. But if you want, you always, in 2017, you had the ability to add your own ordering URLs, but now it's a much cleaner interface for it. It says you could either use third parties or you could add your own URLs. It's a much cleaner interface, so it's a nice little tidbit over there in terms of how to managing your food ordering for your local restaurant. Google Local is showing when a reviewer visited your location when they drop a review. So let's say you drop a review at a vacation spot and you were there in, hurricane season and you had the worst vacation ever. There, Google's basically saying, when did you visit to leave this review? So then it will say on the review when you visited it. It's kind of relevant for some locations to know when you visited that location. Google's also testing hotel search results, carousels, to kind of give you a way to change the hotel destination. So if you do a search for New York hotel, Google might say, oh, well, maybe you want New Jersey hotels or Connecticut hotels, or maybe you want to go to Rome. I don't know. I'm not really sure why they're doing this. If you're specifically searching for a specific location, why they try asking you to change your location, I'm not sure. And finally, Google AdSense has launched a new AdSense management API, version 2.0. It jumps from version 1.4 to version 2.0. So if you're using that management API for Google AdSense, definitely take a look at that upgrade. Lots of changes there. In any event, thank you so much for listening to this Search Buzz video recap. Sorry for the mess, part of my thing. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. Again, today is Friday, April 23rd. This is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. My name again is Barry Schwartz. Have a great weekend. Be safe. See you guys next. Bye-bye.